Curtain Jerks is brought to you by Audible.com. Get your free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android. Whoa! Lightning! Smoke!
Yeah, love to read. Yeah,
Macho Man Randy Savage, what are you doing here?
Yeah, love to read. Talking about reading, yeah, got a book right here,
Hey, wait a minute. You know, with audible.com /audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network.
There's a lot of slashes in there. I don't know if any of those are accurate.
Really? Let me try that again. You know, at audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network, you can read things with your ears on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player.
What do you mean? I don't have to pick up a book no more?
Yeah, you had the most muscular pinky I'd ever seen when you picked up that book.
That's right. See, the problem is that I have with books is they're my enemy, yeah. Because I always get paper cuts. That's why I always got tape on my fingers,
Macho Man Randy Savage, you don't have to cut your fingers anymore on books. You can listen to these books.
No more paper cuts?
No more paper cuts.
The beauty of Audible is I got no more paper cuts, so I can read even more with my ears.
That sounds like a hell of a slogan. The beauty of Audible is no more paper cuts.
No more paper cuts for the Macho Man, no. So you telling me that I gotta pay for no more paper cuts?
See, that's the beauty part, Macho Man Randy Savage. With this, you get a free audiobook once you use the Curtain Jerks promo code.
Free audiobook? Yeah, dig it.
That's free, and then you're also going to be free of paper cuts.
Free of paper cuts, free downloads, free everything. The show is free. I like it.
You know what, Macho Man Randy Savage? You're welcome.
Let's go to the circus.
Let's do it.
Welcome, everyone, to Curtain Jerks, right here on the Comedy Podcast Network. I'm Scott Narver.
And I'm Steve Sears.
And we are bringing you the funniest wrestling podcast. And there you go. There it is. There you have it.
Yeah, that's... You say
that's
it.
Good night.
You make it the truth.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I'm tired.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm just beat. I'm
Yeah.
tired. I didn't even watch Monday Night Raw.
This is true.
I had burnout.
Yeah, Scott.
Battleground's coming. I'm on burnout.
Oh, burnout. WWE burnout would be a terrible pay-per-view.
Well, I'm living it.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Just work? Is everything all that promotion, all those sweet autograph signings, and all the
yeah? I go
the
to these autograph
and,
signings,
yeah.
and no one shows up. No one seems to want an autograph.
The wheelings and dealings of the Comedy Podcast Network.
Yeah, but it's also just burnout of wrestling in general, which I still enjoy it. I still like it. But when Raw rolled around, I was 20 minutes over the time of when it started, and I go, all right, okay. Yeah, I don't feel like watching Raw right now.
Man, I can totally identify with that. That whole wrestling.
3 hours watching it live with commercials in between, and then trying to tweet about it.
Well, which is I can totally totally identify with that every other week, except for the fact that I watch Impact today, and I was blown away at how awesome it is. Every time I watch Impact, every time I talk about Impact on the show, I say the exact same fucking thing, which is like, why am I not watching Impact?
You can get in and out of Impact in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
WWE TV with 3-hour Raw, so that's what, 220 realistically?
Mm-hmm. 3-hour Raw, I think, is about actually a solid 90 minutes. I remember.
No.
Yeah, it's a solid 90 minutes of programming.
No, there's no way. It's got to be more than that.
No, I think
it's not an hour and a half of commercial. Like a 44-minute TV show is 22 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, but I think that's how it evens out.
I'm guessing it's at least 2 hours of wrestling. That's my guess. So
an hour's worth of commercials.
Yeah,
and promos, and recaps, and then also always when you're DVRing Raw, you always know when Raw's about to start because they show a USA show promo right before they go back into Raw.
Right, and they show John Cena sitting on a stoop.
Yeah, against a white background. Characters welcome.
So you got let's say 2 hours there, and then I got to do AfterBuzz TV now, which you can see me and hear me every week on.
AfterBuzz TV?
Yeah, that's another 45 minutes right there. So I'm watching Main Event doing that. And then you got SmackDown, which is another 90 minutes of wrestling. That's a lot.
A Main Event is an hour?
Yeah, Main Event's an hour show.
Okay.
So that's
I should know. I did AfterBuzz that one time.
that's what as we got 3.5 of those two, and then you added 45. Over 4 hours. That's all that needs to be said. That's over 4 hours of WWE programming that I'm watching a week.
Not to mention pay-per-views.
Yeah, not to mention pay-per-views.
And not to mention your bedtime pay-per-views, which are the ones, which it sounds like masturbatory pornography fantasies, but they're actually
they're
just
not. No.
Scott putting on a pay-per-view from like the golden age of WWE.
That's right. And waiting for
Mr. Right.
Yeah.
To introduce him to Mr. Right, who knows Miss Right.
Yes.
God, that took
Ms.
a while. Ms. Right.
Yeah, not Mrs. Then I'm having a scandalous affair.
Yeah, Ms. Right.
So it's a lot, and Impact, like you get in hour and a half, you're caught up, you're done, which is refreshing at this point, because when you watch all of that stuff, it's so much, and like you said, the recaps and everything. So this week I hit burnout.
I did not. I watched Impact this morning, and I thought it was brilliant.
You've been flying on a month and a half of burnout, though.
Yeah, that's true. I really I hate wrestling. No, I love wrestling. But I watched Impact, and I was writing down like things for today's show. The first thing I noticed is let's see, Magnus getting attacked by Bobby Roode and Christopher Daniels and Kazarian.
You know they got a group name.
Aries isn't invited?
He was invited a long time ago.
Okay.
And refused, and then attacked them, and thus became a face.
Ah, good for him. I like him.
Do you know the group name?
Generation. Wait.
Come on, fans. Say it along with Steve on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Inc.
Ego.
Not bad. I wish that
it stands for something. I forget what it is.
Like an acronym?
Yeah.
Everybody's got over. Oh, that's not bad. Everybody got over. But who's there to break up the fight between Christopher Daniels, Bobby Roode, and Magnus but a freshly shorn Al Snow? Al Snow cut his hair.
Did he cut his hair?
Yeah. No, he didn't. I thought because they were
No.
shooting in the
Okay.
back and it's so dark in the back that all he has in that tight ponytail.
Like, there's no way.
And I was about to make that breaking news. I was about to we're breaking on the podcast that Al Snow cut his hair.
No.
Al Snow joins the corporate ranks. No, he's still got that huge ponytail and he's still just as
And the carny mustache.
the Cardi mustache. He's still just as jolly as ever.
Yeah, he's delightful. He's got one of the best Twitter's account. Oh, Jesus.
Nah,
I got burned out on Twitter now.
Yeah, you're burning. He's got like that joke book you find in the bathroom. Everything he says, it's just classic.
Yeah, but you also picture it coming from him, which makes it way funnier.
Imagine him saying it to you in a bar where, behind you is a guy who's telling you jokes you don't want to hear, and in front of you is Al Snow's like, yeah, you listen to this one. And then every once in a while he's throwing peanuts up in the air and catching them in his mouth.
He is. Well, but as much as burnout as I may be suffering through.
Ooh, that reminds me of one more thing.
Oh, yes.
Burnout is a great name, terrible name for a wrestler as well. A pay-per-view and a wrestler.
So Burnout featuring Burnout.
Mhm.
WCW Burnout.
Starring Burnout.
Against Hulk Hogan and the Legion of Doom.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, also, they don't show Manic's face anymore. They only show the back of his head.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
I wish they did that from the very beginning, but since they introduced him, it's like, his face has already been burned into my memory.
Yeah.
Along with his braces.
Little TJ Perkins.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. No, I'm Manic. If I put on this mask, I sure am Manic.
And he does transform.
Yeah, if you go to a live event, you can hear him. Every offensive maneuver he makes.
And then if he gets hit,
Yeah.
That's really a shame because Manic is a great looking wrestler, but as soon as you see him talk or
As soon as you see the guy, you go, oh, he's a dork.
oh, he's got dreams. I thought he was suicidal. I mean, Manic.
Manic-sidal.
Manic-sidal.
Yeah, don't keep reminding me that it's a dude under there, that it's a guy.
No, it's a force of nature. It's an emotion. It's a raw emotion. It's a raw emotion that has nylon covers that go over whatever his giant high top shoes are. Those are really distracting to me. That being said, don't change them.
Well, you're a shoe guy.
I am a shoe guy. I'm not wearing them right now.
What are your
though.
favorite wrestling boots that you've ever seen, or shoes?
I really, honestly, I liked Eddie Guerrero's boots a lot.
Well, okay, and then I want you to lie to me.
Oh, I will. Eddie Guerrero's boots, like he had those yellow ones with the black stripes on them.
Yeah.
I thought those were pretty cool. I always thought, like, if you were to go up from just the boots, I think also if someone was wearing, like, the tights, but, like, just straight up tiger print, I think that would be pretty cool, too.
Okay.
Kofi Kingston and Manic both do the same thing, which is they wear what looks like high tops, like just like a Nike sort of running shoe.
With boot covers?
With the kick boots, like the shin guards on them.
Jericho did that, too, I believe.
Yeah, and I think there's something really cool about that because they look like these weird space boots, but then you get these sort of glimpses of the bottom where it's like, CM Punk does it too. Like when he wears Atomics, those wrestling boots.
Yeah.
Angle would have those giant red vinyl boots when he was in WWE. Now he does like those really weird ankle sort of MMA wrestling boots.
Right.
Who
He
else?
wears a shoe, right?
Yeah, it's a wrestling shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much a boot. A boot.
A boot.
I'm trying to think who else has.
You know who's I like?
Sabu. He's got those good pointy ones.
I really like Mike Tenay's.
Those are loafers, dude.
Yeah.
Those are wingtips.
Those are fucking comfy. If I'm going to be working for 2 hours, I want to wear a loafer.
I think what you're looking for.
You know how many laces there are in that boot? You got to put them up every time and lace them. Mike Tenay, he's a smart guy.
I've never worked in fashion, but I should have. It's all I really. Part of me, that's all I really wanted. What you're looking for is a Rockport, sir. You want a nice, classy-looking shoe, but it's comfortable. You can be on your feet all the time. The Rockport's got it going, and not like your old Rockports from like a decade ago where they look like nurses' shoes. They got some good-looking Rockports now.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll see.
What's your favorite shoes?
My favorite shoes?
Yeah.
I told you, Mike Tenay.
All right. Most of the time, Scott dresses like my dad, and most of the time, I dress like my dad I try to dress like my dad from the 70s. Scott dresses like my dad now. I try to dress like my dad from the 70s.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the plaid shirts, jeans, nice running shoes but no running ever occurs.
That's not true. I run.
That's true.
All right. So let's get to it. We have a lot of stuff.
After the scoops. Sorry, I keep distracting you.
That's all right. It just would have been like 8 other subjects I would have talked about, but that's fine. They will exist some other day.
Indeed.
Because it's a stream of consciousness on the show. We don't like to have a regimen or a script or anything like that.
No.
Let me check the script here.
That being said, I believe I promised a Total Divas total breakdown today.
You do? I was gonna tease it to
Let me know when you're gonna toss that to me because I have to think of some things to say.
All right. I also have a name for that segment.
That's fantastic.
Okay. Randy Orton right now is a top heel. He was a champion. Now he's not a champion, but he's getting his vicious streak back.
That's true. Before, he was just sort of in between. Nobody really cared about him. Still got the pops. Still got the cheers.
He would occasionally jump up in the air, do the splits, then do a arm pump.
Yeah, he'd do the tiny machine guns.
Yeah, sticking out his
Batista
tongue.
did the 50 caliber. He'd do Randy would do the little light machine guns. He's got 2 little Uzis in his hands.
But now he's the main bad guy. Do you hate him, or is he the main bad guy to you? Is he the ultimate pinnacle heel in the company?
I think he's up there. I definitely think he's up there. He's pretty dark. I think he's trying to bring some sort of darkness back into it. And I feel like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are both very frustrating and evil to watch. But I think Orton, he delivers.
Oh, you think he's dark, do you?
Oh, Jack Swagger, our Curtain Jerks general manager.
That's right. Voted by the fans.
That's true. Well, Jack, please join us.
Well, yeah, I will. I'll just sit right here. I heard you talking about a dark heels.
Yeah, we were just talking about Randy Orton sort of going on this very dark transformation. He's sort of getting
dark bad guys.
Yeah, Randy Orton is really becoming very dark.
Like, I don't know, say who could ever be the best most dark bad guy there's ever been in the company. I don't know if I were to go back and look at, I don't know, WrestleMania 29, as it were, the main event match.
What was the main event match?
The greatest main event match of all time for the World Heavyweight Championship.
What was the main event match for WrestleMania 29?
The main event match, my friend, was Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Jeez, who was the good guy or the bad guy?
Well, I think you know who the bad guy was. Perhaps the
Alberto
darkest
Del Rio?
character. No, wait, what the fuck, man?
Oh, sorry.
What's the shit? Why are you jumping up my ass?
I didn't. Am I jumping on your lines?
No, you're jumping up my ass.
Oh, am I? I just.
The darkest character in WrestleMania history, who almost took the title away from Alberto Del Rio.
So Del Rio retained.
Dark Jack Swagger.
Dark Jack Swagger, of course.
Of course.
Of course, Jack Swagger had that incredible transformation to becoming Dark Swagger.
Let me rank them for you, okay? Darkest, evilest bad guys in all of WrestleMania history, all right? Dark Jack Swagger at the top.
Okay.
You got that right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, Giant Gonzalez.
Giant Gonzalez?
Giant Gonzalez.
Okay.
Number 2. Darkest, most evil character on the planet. You got number 3? You got Triple H. He's got, he's fair due. Number 4,
bad guy, right?
well, Jack Swagger again.
Just normal Jack Swagger?
Normal Jack Swagger, because he's like, he could go bad any second here.
That's true. That's true.
So that's where I rank. Number 5, Randy Orton. He's not at number 1 yet.
But he's in there. He's in there.
He's working on it. He's got some chops.
Well, you know what, Jack? We were talking about this. Scott was bringing it up because we have Orton here today. He's in the green room, and I
didn't get any papers about this.
Well,
I have to get clearances for these things.
Clearances? He's not like an exotic animal.
No, he works at a big company. I don't know if you know that. He works at a big corporate brand.
That's true.
So I got to get releases for everybody.
Well, don't worry. He'll sign the releases. I want to bring him in
that's
here.
more paperwork for me.
Yeah, but maybe the two of you guys could talk, because maybe you guys can. Maybe he can give you some pointers or something.
Give me some pointers. What's the shit? Did you
Randy,
hear the rankings?
Randy, could you come in here for a second?
Excuse me, Nutsack. Excuse me, Scrotum. Did you hear the rankings that I gave? Randy Orton's a solid 5.
Whoa.
Oh, hello, Randy Orton.
Whoa.
I don't believe I need to shake your hand because you already know who I am.
Good to see you.
Say my name.
Jack.
Last name.
You know,
Spit
a
it
lot
out.
of people.
All right, that's a heel. That was a heel move. I'll give you that one. That was a heel move there, buddy.
A lot of people are saying I'm getting pretty dark now that I'm in the title picture. But let me tell you something. I am the title
Well, as
picture.
as dark as you may be, Randy, I still see some light. You're not dark enough. I can teach you how to be darker.
Jack, the only light I see around you is the light that I could teach you to be darker.
Well, and my luminescent hair.
It's very bright.
I'll tell you a couple things. You talk slow, but you gotta talk lower than that. If you want people to fear and respect you.
So you're saying I should talk even lower.
Well, okay. That's one level. You need to go about 6 levels lower, Randy.
You mean real low?
Yeah. Go. Okay. If you're gonna go half octaves like that, like a
I'm
pussy,
I'm going real low.
come on. Don't act like a pussy.
That's the lowest I go.
You're going a little bit higher now. Listen to you.
That's the lowest I go.
Go as Randy. Go as low as you go.
I'm going
Go
as
as
low
low
as
as
you
you go.
go.
As low as you go. Do it right now.
Low as you go.
I want you. I wrote down a sentence for you. All right.
Okay.
Wrote down the sentence.
Okay.
This is for your heel promo. All right.
All right.
I want you to say this as low as you can to strike fear in all the listeners' hearts, and then they'll go, "Oh no, Randy Orton's a dark guy." So here, I wrote down the sentence.
All right.
Just read this out that little piece of paper.
Do you want me to say it like you do?
I want you to. Well, yeah. If you're trying to be the ultimate dark bad guy like myself, then you gotta say it like me. Number 1 WrestleMania all-time bad guy, Dark Jack Swagger.
Just like oysters are aphrodisiacs, I'm gonna take you to the next level of pain and pleasure.
Okay, I think there's a mix up in the audio. I heard some feedback in my
I
earbuds.
just say it the way you wrote it.
No,
got a lot of extra S's and C's and H's in there.
Well, of course, because people have to understand what you're saying. But I heard it was weird when you said it. I heard feedback in the earbuds, like something. It sounded staticky. Did you guys hear the static?
Which is a little bit staticky.
That's so weird. I don't hear it coming out of my headphones.
No, it's just me, Dark Orton.
Yeah, guys, can you fix it? Hey, Scrotums, not sex. Can you guys fix this?
I'm working on it. I'll talk to Edge. I'll see if I can't find there to be any problems with the soundboard. It just seems to be Jack Swagger's lisp and Orton doing a lisp also. Thank you, Edge.
Okay, Edge, that is a cavalcade of silliness is what you're describing, sir.
You know, both of you guys are pretty tall. I would have loved to see Jack Swagger and Edge step into the ring at some point.
We did.
Did you?
Yeah, we
No,
stepped
you
in
did.
it. Yeah, of course we did.
When did you step in?
When
I'd like to know when you guys stepped into the ring together.
That's so weird. I keep hearing this weird interference.
Look, I think we're getting off topic. I'm the top heel right now in WWE, and I want everybody to know that Daniel Bryan at Battleground.
I'm on the edge of my seat. What are we supposed to know? Please fill us in.
It's gonna be one hell of a battle on to the ground.
Well, I'm sold. You know what? I'm going to buy the pay-per-view. I know I get it for free, and I know I'm supposed to be at the show. I'm going to set my DVR.
That sounds good to me, Jack Swagger.
That's so weird. I keep hearing it in my earbuds. All right. Thank you, guys. Guys, I think that's enough.
Is that it?
Yeah, Randy.
I'm the champion right now.
Stop
I can
making-
stick around as much as I want.
Please stop making fun of
Jack Swagger?
Yeah.
Am I making? Is that a heel move to do? Make fun of Jack Swagger?
You know what it is?
I've never talked this fast in my entire life.
Well, boo. Boo to you, Randy Orton. I hope you
Whatever.
lose at Battleground.
I hope my giant thighs that aren't covered don't knock you over on my way out of this room.
I don't know how you
All I
don't
wear
start
is
a
a
fire with
t-shirt and
those.
my trunks.
I don't know how you...
T-shirt, trunks, and these great, long, tall boots. Man, look at those boots.
All right, get out of here, Randy Orton. This is too much.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
I forgot Randy Orton's got great boots, too.
Does he?
Yeah, they're black. They look like maybe 20 eyes.
What?
The eye holes on the boots.
Oh, you're counting how many eyes?
Yeah, the eyelets.
Oh. Is it 10 on each side, or is it 20 all the way up?
20 all the way up.
Ooh, that is time-consuming.
Well, I mean, I think our UK listeners might know, like your Grinders and your Doc Martens. A lot of people wear those 20-eye boots. I mean, actually, I'd be interested to hear, like, I most of the time it seems like a UK thing. I love it. I'd wear them if I could, but I feel like are people considered posers if they're wearing the 20 eyes, if they're wearing the really tall Grinders? The Grinders, I think they are called kings for the 20 eyes.
I don't know if they're... I know whatever I do, if I try and adapt to another style, then I'm a poser. So I don't know how it works for everybody else.
You know what's funny? Did you see the World's End?
No.
You should.
I want to.
I think you should dress like Simon Pegg from now on. I think black trench coat, black jeans, weird 80s band t-shirt. I think that seems like your style to me.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like bad news.
No. I think you're onto something. I think I'm onto something for you.
I think you're onto something with your new segment, Total Divas with Steve, Total Stevas.
Thank you. That is a great intro. I really like this show.
For those who didn't listen last week, Steve watches Total Divas now. You watched one episode, got totally hooked.
I've got one episode.
I am not interested at all.
I watched one episode, totally hooked, and then I watched 5 minutes of their reunion special. Not to mention, I should also point out, they haven't completed their first season yet. What I saw was the mid-season finale.
Ooh.
And then they had a reunion show, and then they're going to be going back to finishing up their entire season.
Wow. That's big news to advertise the middle.
Yeah, this is the high point, I think is what they're trying to say. I don't believe it. I think every episode's probably better than the last. What to say about this show that hasn't already been said? It's fascinating. It's really cool.
Fascinating.
Well,
really?
you know what's funny is like
I'm curious to know how many listeners there are. Like, please tweet us and email us to let us know where you stand on Total Divas. Do you watch it? Do you like it? Do you not watch it? Are you me? Do you not watch it and don't care? Are you Steve? You watch it and you're enthralled by it.
I was really surprised because so many of the women that are on the show when they're put on TV are so dreadfully boring that when you get to see them in this reality show, it's like, oh, wow, they actually seem a lot more interesting than whatever they're sort of portrayed. Like the Bellas, on the show on Raw, they look so trashy all the time because they always look like everybody.
Yeah.
Anytime it's a wrestler and it's a woman, they always look like a Vegas showgirl exploded in a stripper shop, and then they also happen to pick up boots and put on some knee pads. You know,
Yes.
that's what it always sort of seems like to me.
Agreed.
On the show, they seem like really kind of, I hate to say it, but really kind of elegant and classy. Like they
No.
recognize that it's a profession. They really want to work hard at it. They dress sort of fashionable, I guess. Like they look good. Like they're more attractive to me in Total Divas than they are on the show because there's sort of this moment where they get to be themselves, I think. And it's that element of sort of being themselves. And
Are they really being themselves, or are they being just more characters?
I think that it's for reality. It's always going to be a character. I think it's. I work in reality TV, so like so much of it is very, very engineered, and a
Yes.
lot of it is like this is what's okay to say, this is what's okay to do. But the stuff that does come through is like that feels real. Like then those are the weird moments where when you feel a little puzzled. That's when it's probably more of a real moment. But when it's like I can't stand this drama right now, that's probably fucking fake.
Okay.
Let's see. The Bellas, awesome. I don't know which ones. I think Bree is the one who's going out with Daniel Bryan. Is that correct?
I don't know.
That's
I've never been able to keep track
I
of them,
understand
even though
that
now they've distinguished themselves with one's got a massive boob job.
Yeah, but
I still don't know which one's which. I never learned. I'm sure I could.
Bree, Nikki. I'm sure that's not even their real names. Anyway, and then the reason you're watching is every once in a while Daniel Bryan and John Cena show up, and like my head fucking explodes because it's like those guys wrestle each other and they're dating the sisters. It's come on. Doesn't anybody think this is amazing? And there's these obviously fake moments where like John Cena walks up to talk to Brie, Nikki, I don't know, to like say like, hey, there's something really serious I got to talk to you about. And it's just these acting moments. Like they have these little scenes that they perform together, and it's just it's like getting to see actors in acting class. It's very strange, but very fascinating. That being said, the reunion special was the most interesting part because it was them sitting down and sort of talking about the show. And one of the Usos was there because he dates one of the Funkadactyls.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a diva that's not taken?
The two new ones. One of the other Funkadactyl.
Get in there, Tensai.
Yeah.
Hit
I
that
don't know.
Hit that shit.
I feel like so much of it's incestuous anyway, but
Yeah, but think of that. If Eva Maria then had the cool the Asian characters across her face.
Eva
just like
Maria
Tensai?
is the one with the red hair,
Yeah.
correct? She looks like Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
They should just call her Jessica Rabbit. I think they might as well just do that and really just get anybody on board already. If she had the Chinese characters on her, the Japanese characters on her face, the tire tread,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
How fucking rad would that
That'd be really cool. Speaking of which, I know this is an offshoot from Total Stevas, but who is going out? Is that Brooke Tessemacher, who's in Ace and Eights right now?
Please say that again.
Brooke Tessemacher?
That's amazing. I love the additional syllables you add.
Brooke Tessemacher?
Brooke Tessemacher.
Brooke Tessemacher.
That is Brooke Tessemacher.
Wow. She
Is a team fucking player for having to make out with Bully Ray.
My money's on Bully Ray because I think the club's turning on him. And I think there's something.
No, but I mean, with her, it's like, hey, we got this spot for you. We're gonna put you on TV. You're gonna have to make out with Bully Ray a lot.
And by the way, you know how you got to wear all those conservative like corporate uniforms for so long? Well, now we're gonna put you in chaps and a tiny bikini bottom. Are you cool with that? Also, Bully Ray is just gonna pull you around by a chain. Is that all right?
Is that cool?
Is that cool?
You did miss some of the other times though. And when she wrestled, she wasn't wearing a whole lot then either.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Well, when you add more syllables, you wear less clothes.
TNA is at the top of the heap for me when it comes to those wrestlers. The knockouts are incredible.
Well, yeah, the company's called TNA.
Yeah, read a book. I think what was
Read a book and jerk off into it.
Well,
TNA wrestling.
Yeah,
what happened to Wrestling Matters?
It's like I also don't think this new reading slogan is gonna work for people.
Look, I know you're trying to compete with WWE and the whole reading campaign, but read a book and jerk off into it. I don't think that's what they want to hear these wrestlers come up and say.
And honestly, if you close that book, how are you supposed to read it again?
Yeah, I mean, sure, you know where you left off.
Yeah, all you. But you can never reread that passage.
No, well, I guess it's good for the book industry because then you got to buy a new book.
God, I hate the book industry. I hate the monopoly that they're having with this new slogan, read a book and jack off.
Gentlemen.
Joseph Park?
Gentlemen.
Joseph Park, please. I'm in the middle of a segment.
Well, I heard
I know that we went a little bit off the rails, but you don't have to interrupt me.
Well, gentlemen, I heard about TNA and the reading book campaign. Read a book and jerk off into it.
Are you supporting this?
I am supporting. I am headlining this campaign.
Well, hold on. Maybe I know that if you want to, I know this is the perfect forum for you to spread this along with TNA's new slogan, read a book and jack off into it. All I'm suggesting is
that's the subtitle. It's the perfect place to spread it.
It's a perfect read a book and jack off into it. It's a perfect place to spread it. All I'm asking is that you cut off the part which is into it. Why don't you just say, read a book, jack off. It's the perfect place to spread it into.
Words give you a gift. You have to give a gift back to the words.
Yeah, but it literally is, I think it's...
Do you know how many law books there are?
There are a lot.
Do you know how many of those I've jerked off into?
No, don't tell me. How many?
Each and every single one of them.
That is awful. That is truly awful.
That was before I realized my dream of wanting to be a wrestler. Like my brother, Abyss.
I honestly think that jacking off into a hardbound book, paperback or otherwise, is on par with burning the book burnings that Nazis did.
That is absurd.
It is just as destructive because no one wants to read that. No one can use that book.
If it is a 100-page book, there are 98 pages that are still good. If you burn a book like a Nazi, they're
you have
no
the
good.
forward, you have the front cover. You have the front cover and the back cover. And if I write a book and I have my picture posted on the back.
Have you written a book? I'll be happy to jerk off in it for you.
Please. I think the only page it's all right in a book is the very open front cover, because then it's either the copyright and the publishing information.
How are people going to know potentially what that book's about?
You're right. And how are librarians going to know where to file it in the library?
I'll tell them where to file it.
Good.
I worked in a library for a period of time. I know my Dewey Decimal System.
I understand that.
I wasn't talking about jerking off for the librarian.
Wait, what?
I wasn't talking about jerking off for the librarian.
For the librarian?
Yeah.
You're talking about for people to read.
Yeah, I would direct the librarian on where to go in the library in order to file away your book.
Oh, so you were
Steve Sears' book.
So you were managing a librarian.
Of course.
Wow.
When I studied to be a lawyer, I had to be familiar with books as much as I could. And then when I worked with TNA Wrestling, Dixie Carter spread a great message. Jerk off into a book.
God, that is... Oh, well, what about this? What if jerking off into a book means really letting yourself go and, you'll never know where books take you?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's I read it and I go, I don't know where they're going to take me, but I'll take this book somewhere.
Somewhere dirty. Excellent. All right.
But if I see blood, then I tear the book in half.
Yeah, I was about to say, you versus Team O. Is that the Robbie E? Versus you and Eric Young on Impact, and you guys had an impromptu tag match, and you got the blood in your mouth, and you beat up the Jersey guy.
Yeah, bromance.
Yeah, bro. They're called bromans?
Bromance.
But with
the humorous part is that you call them bromance.
Oh, it sounds like bromance.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
And I tell you what, we got along after the match. We all shared a book together.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, well, how do you feel?
We're anti-Kindle. TNA Wrestling, anti-Kindle.
I should hope so, because those Kindles are expensive. On a separate note, how do you feel about ODB winning the women's the knockout title?
Good for her.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, another delight, because when we're done with a match, she goes back and she jerks off into a book.
Wow.
All right, good day, gentlemen.
Thank you,
enjoy
Joseph
reading.
Park.
Enjoy reading, all your listeners. And I'm going to go and tell you what, I'm going to take this book with me right here.
It's Hulk Hogan's autobiography.
Oh boy! That was rude. I can't believe that happened
rude?
During Total Divas.
I know. You know what was rude is how he forcefully shook both our hands when he exited.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I hope
I
that's
hope to God that he's ambidextrous and I got a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, in closing for Total Divas, I'd like to point out it's a really great show.
You recommend it?
I recommend it. And the reunion show, I only watched 5 minutes of it. John Cena was on, and he sort of gave this sort of wholehearted kind of like endorsement of the show. He was like, this is one of the few times for a business that is so closed that we're really opening the cameras up and letting you see people's lives. And for engineered as it is, and for as artificial as it is.
With all the divas behind him like, John, can we say something? It's our show.
No, they were talking. He sat quietly the whole time. And then when they passed it to him and asked him a personal question, he just made an endorsement and didn't answer the personal question. Like, are you guys getting married? And he was like, I just want to let everybody know that these ladies are really strong and they're working very hard. And that's what he wanted. And like, that's what that show feels like. It feels like that's the message that's coming across. That being said, I am sick to fucking death about hearing about it on Raw.
Because I'm going to watch the episode.
Yeah,
No
I
spoilers,
already am going to
please.
watch I'm already going to watch the episode, so why just pepper me with it on Raw?
Have you programmed it into the old DVR?
Now that you're here, I was going to ask you to do that.
Oh, you got
I
it.
don't know how to
You
do
got it, buddy.
Can you also put Bellator on?
Yes. Yeah, sure thing, Dad. I walked my dad through fixing the router this morning on the phone while driving up here. I'll help you program the DVR.
I like helping your dad through the router. I can only imagine unplug it. Good. Plug it back in. Are the lights blinking? Yes.
Good.
Bellator.
Now to go dress like Steve's father.
My second favorite part about Impact is getting to watch the 5 minutes of Bellator afterwards. Enthralling, Scott. I should also point out, maybe I just like a lot of really bad TV because I rarely watch it.
That could be the case.
Two Broke Girls? Fantastic. Fantastic.
Them girls is broke. It is time for the plug of the week. This week, I'm happy to announce a new project that I'm working on, 16 Bits Podcast. That is a video game podcast with myself and fellow funny man, Josh Callahan.
Commercial actor Josh Callahan?
That's right. The best of Second City, Josh Callahan. I don't know if you know this, Steve. They got a lot at Second City. We perform at Second City.
That's true. Star of Lunch with Me yesterday, Josh Callahan?
Josh Callahan is the best of Second City.
He is the best of
I
Second
am
City.
fortunate because I get to work with the best of Second City.
That's true.
I know he listens to this podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say,
and
you were fucking hamming it up because Josh Callahan
I'm
listens to
so
the
upset
podcast.
that he's upset in the car. So, yes, we talk video games. If you, for some reason, enjoy me rambling on about my opinions and such and doing funny bits and characters, those things pour over into 16 Bits Podcast. We had our first episode.
I heard about this. I have not listened to it yet. I'm actually very excited for it because Josh described the format as very similar to this show, but with video games. And I hope you guys are a little bit more focused because we talk about fucking everything on this show.
Well, the first episode's a little unfocused. I'll be completely honest with you.
I think that's a great place to start.
Yes.
I mean, like, so for us, in all honesty, the way we found our footing was after 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it was, if you listen to our very first episode, I don't recommend it, but it is like, you can hear the fear in my voice in every episode for maybe 15 to 20 episodes.
And we did a lot of scripted stuff then, too.
Yeah. And
pulling back the curtain a little bit for you, jerks.
it's total CJs.
Yeah.
I almost said HJs, but
Oh, man, that would have been great.
but there's no books involved. So, I feel like that sort of.
Did you do the moral of this book?
What?
I'm almost finished. Did you do the moral of the book?
Joseph Park, no, you can have that book.
Chapter 2.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're heavily scripted, and I wanted a more free format.
You wanted a conversational aspect, and that came with time. I think that it came with sort of comfort and sort of getting to that place.
That's what I like to listen to, and it seems like Josh enjoys that as well. And Josh is very funny off the cuff, and we have a fun friendship where we just talk openly and we riff about stuff. And
I hate to bring this up, but Josh told me he cut out a mention of myself in that episode.
Did he really?
Yeah, he said that, like, you guys mentioned me, and then he cut me out. I only bring that up because I have a huge fucking ego, and I have a huge problem with you guys cutting me out of your first episode.
Buddy, I'll slip you in on number 2.
I hope so. He said he wants me to pop in at some point.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Steve will pop in there. I'm sure some other people that you may know, you may not know in the world of comedy will pop up.
What kind of guests do you guys have?
On our first episode, we were talking Grand Theft Auto 5. You know what was crazy? You know who showed up?
Who?
Cousin Roman from Grand Theft Auto 4.
From Liberty City.
That's right.
How'd you guys get him? You guys are on the West Coast.
Well, we got the hookup because he was so excited to promote the new game, he thought he was in it.
Oh shit.
Well, I don't want to spoil everything, but he's there, and we talked to him. And I know next week on episode number 2, we're gonna be talking to Pikachu.
Really?
That's right.
Pikachu from
Yeah.
Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon Pikachu. So listen to the podcast on iTunes and 16bitspodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at 16bitspodcast. 16 bits, like the old systems. You know?
I like your logo a lot.
Well, thanks. And we got more stuff coming. We got more artwork coming. We got a song coming. We got all kinds of stuff coming.
An
on that show.
exclusive interview with storyboard artist Tim McBean. He worked on several games like Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker. None of his work made it into the finished game. He also did a little bit of work on Berserk, that Wii title. None of his work made it into the game either.
So
but you could also remember him as one of the grunts as in he made the grunt noise in Gears of War 2.
Oh.
Yeah, he did a little bit of voiceover work.
Well, and I guarantee you there'll be some crossover because when WWE 2K14 comes out, I guarantee you Macho Man Randy Savage is going to be on that show.
Nice.
So you're going to have to listen. So it is time for jerk tweets. Every week go to twitter.com/curtainjerks and send us your hashtag jerk tweets. First one we got here is from Johan Bennett or Benet. It could all be super French. I don't know. Unless you spell it out phonetically, I'm just going to guess, everybody. That's how it goes. Johan Bennett says, after CM Punk beats Ryback, what do you think about Scott Steiner being the next Paul Heyman guy? Also, fuck you, Steve Sears. Scott Steiner being the next Paul Heyman guy.
It's more like Scott Steiner being the next Paul Heyman grandpa guy.
I love Scott Steiner.
Me too.
I love what he has to say because it doesn't follow any language that we all follow on this world.
Any sort of syntax, just it's not necessary.
Oh, it's gone. I love him being a muscle guy. He's not quite what he used to be in the ring, which is a bit of a problem. So you just got him talking. But Paul Heyman already does that so well. I figure every time Scott Steiner would speak.
No, that's what when they bring back WWE, they don't want him to use his real name, so they just call him
Steiner. That Heyman will constantly have to do damage control. I would like to sooner see Steiner. You know where I'd like to see Steiner?
Where?
The Shield.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, number 4, Scott Steiner. With the rest of the guys going, I don't know if we're on the same side here.
Where did this guy come from?
Why did you tattoo a vest on your body?
That's how I operate. Yeah. God,
I tell you, think about Shield. Shield it's in front of you, so get behind it or you're going to die.
You want a cheeseburger? I'll teach you cheeseburger. I teach a burger.
I tell you something, Stephanie McMahon, I'm going to rape you.
Just
oh, Jesus Christ.
That guy is so fucking intense. He's like a linebacker on cocaine. He is just so intense.
He's a joy, and as much as I want to have every single wrestler in existence on this podcast, I don't think I could ever have Scott Steiner on this podcast and not shit myself in absolute fear.
I would be honored to have him on the podcast because he is so intense. And like
you'll hear our deaths on the podcast.
Yeah.
He's like, what's so fucking funny?
You guys are so small. Hey, Jack.
I'm going to put you in my ass and turn you around.
What?
So
it's a breech birth.
I'd like to see Scott Steiner in the Shield sooner than I would as a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, I agree. I think Scott Steiner as a singles performer is awesome. Like, I don't even think he needs a faction. And if he did, like, I don't know who you could put him in a tag team with. Yoshitatsu. I would love to see him being utterly outrageous stuff, and Yoshitatsu's along for the ride.
Listeners, that's why I go back to the first episode, because you hear the love of Paul London transform into Yoshitatsu.
Yeah, it
by
happens
Steve.
over time.
I can't wait who's next. You know why I want Steiner in a faction? So that way, years later, when those guys do shoot interviews and interviews,
they can talk about Steiner.
Yeah, they could tell the stories.
Awesome. We should find some Steiner shoot interviews. I mean, I know he went crazy on Twitter for a while.
I have some.
And he talks all in caps.
It's in my storage unit.
I want shoot interviews about Steiner.
Oh, I see. So people just talking about Steiner.
Get
Get on
it,
kayfabe commentaries.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Get on it. I don't think people do that because they're just as scared of him as we are.
No shit. Dan Reyes says, thank you, Dan. This is a new guy tweeting at us.
First-time tweeter,
long-time tweeter. I was wondering if Jeff Hardy could come on the next show and give us his thoughts on Dixie Carter's Actually, what he says here is give his thoughts on Dixie Carter's Hell promo. I'm assuming he means heel promo, but maybe it's hell for him.
I don't know.
We were going to wrap up the show here,
which is interesting because I thought the exact same thing. So I have him on hold.
Wait, he's been holding this entire time?
He called me, and he asked to be put on hold.
When was that? Like how much earlier than we started did this occur?
Well, let's see. We're recording on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Impact was on last Thursday.
No. Why are you like days? We're talking days?
He called me on Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah. He said that he had he literally said on Saturday night that Impact had just wrapped, and they shoot on Tuesdays, right?
I think so.
So he's way off.
No, I think they shoot on a Thursday because it's live on the Thursday.
Okay.
And then the following one is like
so he was recovering from that Thursday night all the way to Saturday.
What?
Yeah, let's talk to him.
Oh, I don't even think he's still going to be on the line. I mean, that's a lot of faith thinking that he's just going to be waiting on the phone.
All right, it's blinking.
Okay.
Everybody's got a price to pay. Get yourself a raise. Find yourself a nacho chip that has your dreams. Has your dreams. Has your dreams.
Hello? Hello, Jeff? Is this Jeff Hardy?
Hello?
No, the Carolina's own Jeff Hardy? Is this?
Oh, hey, man. How y'all doing?
Jeff, how long have you been on hold?
Since Saturday night.
Oh, my God. Why have you been on hold since Saturday night?
Because I called on Saturday. Shit, Scott.
Well, hey, in the future, Jeff, if you want to spend your days doing whatever it is you have or need to do, you can call us on the day that you want to talk.
Yeah, man, all right. I wanted to talk on Saturday, and then I forgot what I was going to say, and I told Steve to put me on hold.
Well, okay. Well, Jeff, we have you here on the phone. Jeff, Impact Wrestling is going through some changes.
Big changes.
Big changes.
Big changes.
Bound for Glory's coming up. You didn't make it.
No, knocked out.
You got knocked out. How do you feel about that?
Feel pretty bad, man. Feel like tough times ahead. But then I got that win on Manic the other night, and then I took on, what's his name? Who's that creepy guy? What's that creepy guy's name? Detroit's own creepy guy.
Chris Sabin?
Yeah, that's not it. He's from Detroit.
Own.
He used to be World Heavyweight title, and now he doesn't have a title. It just feels like his whole career was a fluke, and now they made him a heel so that, like...
Chris Sabin.
What?
Yeah. I don't know if I know he's from Michigan.
Does he? He looks like a sausage coming out of a T-shirt.
Well, that didn't help.
Yeah, he's got like all this long brown hair. Like,
that's Chris Sabin.
He's got like junior hair length. He's got junior high hair length.
Yeah, that's Chris Sabin.
It looks like a sausage.
Well, he's not Chris Sausage. He's Chris Sabin.
I'm going to call him Chris Sausage next time I face him.
Well, I guess it's good for you. You're a veteran of the business, so you can do that sort of thing and get away with it.
It's called ribbon.
All right.
It's called ribbon.
So are you going to challenge?
We haze the younger guys. We give them ribs.
What do you do? What do you do to haze the younger guys?
Well, if I was dealing with like a big sausage.
Okay.
If I was dealing with a big sausage, one, if it was not alive and it wasn't like an anthropomorphic human, like if it was just a sausage, I'd brown it. I'm not Italian. If I was Italian, I'd fry it, but I just like browning sausages.
Okay, so what do you do to haze?
Like a talking sausage, like a real, like live human sausage.
Sure.
Are you Chris Sabin?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably just like, what was a good one I heard? Oh, you know what you do is every time that sausage goes to bed, I would travel with him. I'd be his buddy, his travel buddy.
Yeah.
And so we'd stay in the same hotel, and every time he falls asleep, I'd put a tobacco patch. I put a tobacco patch on him.
A nicotine patch?
Yeah, you put a
that
nicotine.
Smokers use to try and wean off of cigarettes.
Yeah, I'd put this nicotine patch on this big talking sausage.
Where? Where on his body?
Well, it doesn't matter, because then like you put it on for a couple hours while I was asleep, and then when he wakes up, you peel it off and doesn't know. And you do it every night. You put this cigarette patch on him, and then And then he's just like really irritable all the time. You got this really angry sausage.
Well, I have to say that is a new rib that I've never heard of before.
Never heard that?
And I really enjoy it. I really like this nicotine patch rib that you do.
Yeah, big sausage, man. A big talking sausage. But first of all, a big talking sausage is a big rib on me, man. I feel like life's a joke. Everything's a dream. I'm living in a boat. My wife can scream.
Well, I look forward to that.
I'm just writing some new lyrics for a new album.
I'm sure. I look forward to that song. Hopefully, it's a new entrance theme.
Hey, what we're gonna? Oh, man, I know why I called now.
Oh, do you have something you want to talk about?
Yeah,
I have tons of questions, but yeah,
told.
if you have something that you want to talk
Yeah,
about.
did you see Dixie Carter cut that hell promo?
Well, it was a heel promo. Did it feel like hell to you?
No, man, I felt like she was going through hell. She felt like the good guy to me. I thought AJ was being the bad guy.
What? You thought AJ was being the bad guy and Dixie Carter was being the good guy?
Well, he's doing that new thing, man, where heels start talking about stuff that the fans want people to be talking about, but because they're talking about it, they do it in such a way that makes it feel not legitimate, you know? It's like MTV talking about not playing music videos, but the person who's talking about it's just a big, like, old guy who's balding.
Oh, okay. So
it's like
that makes you upset.
Yeah, so it's like, don't talk about issues, man, that are important to me, and then get all up in Dixie's face about it.
So you sided with Dixie?
Yeah, man.
What in that promo made you side with Dixie? I mean, she's talking about that AJ's not delivering.
She cut the lights.
Wait, you mean to tell me the reason that you sided with Dixie Carter and all of what she had to say is the fact that she cut the lights?
Yeah, man. You think all this face paint just only looks good in the light? No, man, it's all glow in the dark.
But you weren't
I
there.
got a blacklight LED thing on my keychain, and if I just pointed at my face, I look like those bad guys in Batman
Batman and Robin.
Batman Forever.
Yeah, Batman Forever. You're right.
I think you mean Batman Forever. Man, if I could see you, I'd describe what food you look like.
Well, I'm glad you don't see me because I don't want to be described as a food.
I guess you could say the lights are off on me.
I guess I could say that. But really, that's why? Because you like to be in darkness so that way you can see your own makeup?
No. I don't like to be in darkness. I just like it when people can see me in the darkness because I look all in makeup.
So you think for some reason now Impact Wrestling will be all in the dark, which will then prominently feature you, but you'll be easier to see to your opponent. See, okay, here's a problem in your logic, Jeff. If your makeup shows up in the dark and you're fighting somebody else that's not wearing glow in the dark makeup, they can see you and they can beat you. How can you see your opponent?
Oh man, this totally changes my new album.
Your new album? Well, how does this change your new album?
I gotta go back and rewrite all my lyrics.
What was your lyrics before? What were
you? Track number 1, you can't see me. Track number 2, I'm in the dark. Track number 3, I'm a glowing man you can't see. Track number 4.
They seem to follow a pattern that seemed very similar in song.
Yeah, man. Shit.
Look, Jeff, I'm sorry about that, but how do you think it's going to be working for Dixie Carter now?
I don't know. I thought professional wrestling had a long, storied history in having different lighting schemes for different wrestling. Got your Sin Caras.
Kane for a little while.
That match with the
I don't know.
A long, storied history.
Well, Jeff, I'm sorry to burst your bubble on this. I mean, everybody wanted to know. Dan Reyes wanted to know about this. So,
well, man, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it.
Jeff, I'm sorry to break the news to you, but I have to ask you something before we let you go.
Oh, Hogan's Beach still open.
Okay, I have something else to ask you then. The new campaign about reading.
Oh yeah, read a book, jack off on it.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's good, but I mean that's why you need the lights off. How are you supposed to read? I don't know, man. I feel like it's difficult, but I'm all behind it, or in front of it, or on top of it, however you want to say it.
Well, Jeff Hardy, I'm glad. That makes me feel happy.
Hey, thanks for letting me.
Jeff, you didn't hang up. You're still.
What?
You can hang up if you gotta go.
I just put me on hold.
All right. Well, that's Jeff Hardy, everybody.
Everybody's got a dream. When you find that dream, make sure you. Just thought I'd put that guy back on hold.
Sure. Well, that was normally our correspondent. Today we're just asking him some questions. Jeff Hardy. So wraps up another episode of Curtain Jerks here today. We've learned a lot. We've had some scoops today.
Yeah, it's some serious scoops.
I mean, I check the websites every so often. I don't see that stuff about TNA Wrestling's reading campaign.
Yeah, I think it's important that TNA branches out, and I'm glad that they are. Hey, man, at the beginning of this episode, you said you were burned out on wrestling. How do you feel about it now?
I got a little spark.
You got a little spark?
I got a little spark.
All right, good.
There's a little spark brewing. And you know what? I feel like reading a book.
Really?
I do.
Well, why don't you leave and then read that book in your car?
What?
And then come
Linda Hogan's biography?
That's a boxing ring. There's too many ropes.
Yeah, but either way,
That's right.
it's a book.
That is a book. Read a book, guys.
Jerk off into it. What a terrible show we've done. What a terrible message. So, yes, we heard from Randy Orton is going to be a little bit darker now. Expect that on TV. Steve's watching his Total Divas, and maybe we'll hear some more Total Stevas here soon.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch more of it so I'll have more to contribute to that segment.
But again, 16 Bits Podcast, available now on iTunes and 16bitspodcast.com with myself and the adorable little man. Just a cute, wonderful, charming, funny, and the best of Second City,
Really
Josh
the best
Callahan.
of Second City. Josh Callahan, the adorable man.
And Joseph Park, Jeff Hardy. Who knows what'll be in store for next week? You know why? Because we haven't teased anything for next week. So who knows? It's all fresh, all new. If you want to hear something, you let us know. Jerk tweets. If you want to...
You know what? Next week, let's talk about wrestling gloves.
Wrestling gloves?
Yeah, I feel like they're rarely talked about.
What do you mean wrestling gloves?
Next week. Next week you'll find out.
Oh, I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Are the gloves coming off?
Next week, maybe.
Oh, all right. And you can catch me on AfterBuzz TV each and every week, Wednesdays. AfterBuzz TV, it's on iTunes and it's on YouTube. So if you want to hear me talk about wrestling and all that, some more, if you've got the itch, if you need more wrestling, then you have it. Hopefully you don't suffer burnout like I do.
No, Scott can provide it. He can provide the wrestling info to pay the Shinfo.
So for Curtain Jerks, I'm Scott Narver.
I'm Steve Sears.
Enjoy your wrestling, kids.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.